Dominatrix as an archetype, it struck me that this is one of the things that is most missing in businesses. So the reality is that being a dominatrix is actually about high-level service. You're completely focused on the client. You're completely focused on what they need.
Dominatrix, yes, the leather corset, thigh-high boots, nasty little whip kind of dominatrix.
So if the only thing you know is from Hollywood, okay, and the Hollywood depiction of what a dominatrix is, then I want to just say to you, has Hollywood ever depicted anybody's profession accurately?
They sensationalize it, and they miss out on all of the great stuff in that a scene, and we call them scenes because it's not about sex. A scene is about transformation. That you take somebody and move them through a process so that they can see at the end that they are way more powerful, stronger than they thought they were.
For me, I was like, I think that this archetype of the dominatrix is what women in particular need in business.
The core of it is about inviting people to really step into what I call a higher level consciousness.
I had actually spent the previous 20 years digging into all kinds of tools, techniques that was like an Olympic athlete training for the ultimate competition. My ultimate competition was facing the bankruptcy without any fear.
Fear, we put the label of fear on something that's actually excitement. So I want to take you through a quick little exercise to teach you some tools to actually move the fear out. What I have, my lovely Vanna here, has roasted crickets. So you're gonna take one, pass them along. You're not eating them just yet. You can take a look at them, notice what comes up. When I work with people, a big part of what I do is to clear what we call the charge. So right now, you guys are sitting in an emotional charge as a reaction to looking at them, thinking about them, possibly considering the idea of eating them, right? When we go through the process that we're going to do in a moment, it actually removes some of the energetic charge. Then it's just simply a choice of like, am I hungry? That's the idea of where we're wanting to get to. So you take a deep breath and you just let it out with a nice big exhale. Just, yeah. Even just doing that, you're starting to already bring the nervous system down. You start to calm things down. When you take a deep breath, you put the body more into relaxation state, and it starts to release some of that energetic charge. How would you rate this? You can just kind of like give a mental note. There is the ability to shift your fears. There's the ability to change how you're interacting with the things that are in front of you that you're afraid of. So this could represent moving forward in your business, making reach out calls, making sales calls, asking people to do things for you. It could represent anything. No, right.
You ever had an argument with somebody, and then a couple hours later, you have every snappy comeback in the world, but in the moment in that argument, you couldn't think of anything? I'm going to tell you, it's not your fault. It's the way your brain is wired. Okay? The way our brains are wired, when we look at neuroscience, our brains are kind of like a computer in that we're best off to single task. Your programs in your computer are like your emotions. The more emotional you are, the less cognitive and creative functioning you have available in your brain. So our three themes, and the tools I'm going to teach you are really overlapping in through the themes. So the themes are that we need to have tools that are going to allow us to navigate our emotions.
When we come to a difficult conversation and we're willing to really admit and say, this is where it is for me. I am not feeling comfortable. To actually admit our emotions, to admit the things that, make us look silly.
You also really need tools in a conversation to put the other person at ease. Having them feel comfortable, having them feel safe and secure and willing to open up. Because of course it's a conversation.
Let go in order to be able to be present. So that's the surrender and trust side of it, is that trusting that we can navigate it, trusting that the other person will show up as much as they're willing to show up.
And then the third one is we want to look at the language. How do we phrase things? What do we say? Engage the other person to give us the information that we need to move forward.
Most communication tactics are all about what you're saying, but the reality is that the most important piece is the communication that comes from your heart, the energy that you portray.
And the last thought that I want to leave you with is that you've never been broken. Thank you.
Thank you.